Ako po si Gladys Mangiduyos. I am here to give a Wesleyan perspective, not just because I am connected with Wesleyan University Philippines, but because I am so passionate about our 4-year-old program, John Wesley Academy, that we started with Bishop Arichea and we continued with Bishop Rudy Juan. Wesleyan perspective, they are the same human beings, bountifully endowed with gifts and graces, and shall be afforded with our utmost and best. I'll see if this works. Thank you. Hindi pala ganun, doon pala. Okay, I'm trying to squeeze 7 minutes, pero mukhang hindi po talaga kaya, no? 14 minutes talaga. So, pipilitin natin. Okay, so this perspective is based on 3 things. So I will discuss to you. The first is on education that John Wesley has shared. The interplay of thinking, judging, and acting. The second one is the strain of bigotry and the Catholic spirit from John Wesley's sermon. In 1748, next slide please. I'll just continue reading because mukhang may problema po tayo. In 1748, education should be considered in no other light than as the art of recovering persons to their rational perfection, teaching them how to think, judge, and act. Sinabi po yan ni John Wesley. Magkakasama ang thinking, judging, acting. Kung ano ang iniisip natin, yun lang ang gagawin natin. At yun ang panghuhusga natin at gagawin natin. Instilled in Kingswood, so hindi lang basta thinking. To have a vibrant and sound faith, one must be able to read and write ably and to think and reason critically. We have been defining sexuality. We have been saying that it is influenced by the interaction of biological, psychological, social, economic, political, cultural, ethical, legal, historical, religious, and spiritual factors. Who defines it? When? Where? What is the context of the one defining sexuality? In my context in Wesleyan University, Philippines, in 2004, we staged a concert for the Asian tsunami. And we donated $800 to Indonesia via UMCOR. And the people in the community were asking, why are you helping them? They are not Christians. And so with the fora on sex and sexuality, VAUSI, climate justice, HIV and AIDS in 2012, and in 2015, with Darlene, kino-question pa rin. Isa-segue nyo lang yan sa homosexuality. Bakit kayo naggaganyan? But to tell you, hindi naman pare-parehong tao ang nagtatanong. So there is an improvement. But because we provided space, nagbabago ang pananaw, nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon. So that is not surprising in that community because they question it because it is outside the framework of their learning. It is outside their Christian education learning. Did Christian education fail? What went wrong in the teachings? Where went wrong? How do we really love our neighbor? How inclusive is inclusive? One research finding, Orthodox Judaism, traditional Catholicism, and traditional Protestantism are alike in their condemnation of masturbation, abortion, and homosexuality. In Wesleyan, we have this John Wesley Academy, which has this vision to have everyone to become steadfast seeker of spiritual holiness and social holiness, committed to pursue the principles of John Wesley, knowledge and holiness combined, unity of piety and learning through an unending search of wisdom and accountability. From John Wesley's sermon, the imperfection of human knowledge. He said, the desire of knowledge is a universal principle in humanity, fixed in our inmost nature, and it is planted in every human soul for excellent purposes. It is intended to raise our thoughts higher and higher and higher, more and more, to become more and more worthy of our consideration till we ascend to the source of knowledge and all excellence, the all-wise and all-gracious Creator. Cultivating critical spirit. Critical thinking is from John Wesley. It is self-guided, self-disciplined, which attempts to reason at the highest level of quality in a fair-minded way. Attempt to live rationally, reasonably, and empathically. Cultivating critical spirit is engaging in deep conversation like this. It is involving ourselves in deep conversations and in looking in several dimensions of the issue. What is sad is we rarely provide theological discussions and other learning avenues for our thinking to ascend to the source of all knowledge. Second, the strain of bigotry. I will not read this, but John Wesley has cautioned us against bigotry. In both sermons, Wesley spelled out his warning against the sectarian spirit that divides the people of God and prevents Christians from understanding that God is present and working in fellowship and parties and denominations other than their own. The sermon on bigotry is based on Mark 9:38-39, where Jesus cautioned his disciples not to exclude the man casting out demons just because he did not belong to the circle of Jesus' disciples. Wesley defined bigotry as too strong an attachment to or fondness for or our own party, opinion, church, and religion. The sermon is a call to Christians to put away the party spirit, the unkind criticism, the harsh judgments, and the censorious backbiting that Wesley knew too well to be so prevalent in his own day. Wesley's Catholic spirit, the last one. Albert Outler and Richard Rather, two premier United Methodist Christian theologians, note that Wesley's sermon reflects his non-dogmatic method in theology and Wesley's effort to redeem controversy in general by the spirit of Christian love and forbearance. Wesley's Catholic spirit sermon based on 2 Kings 10:15 was urging love of God and neighbor. Wesley says, we all affirm such love, but we do not practice it. Why, he asked, what hindrances lie in the way? What queries? The two grand general hindrances, he notes, are that we cannot all think alike, and we cannot all walk alike. A person with a Catholic spirit may be fixed as the sun in his judgment concerning the main branches of Christian doctrine, though still willing to hear and weigh whatsoever can be offered against his principles. As we cultivate critical thinking, revisit our framework, eliminate the strain of bigotry, and uphold the Catholic spirit. Human value commitments mean more and more to us as we do this intellectual work, these conversations, which will enable us to free ourselves from the divisive ways of looking at ourselves and others. Good evening po.